Hello, everybody. I'm Keith Jones. I'm the creator of the Six-Figure Real Estate Wholesaling Coaching Program. We teach financiers and sellers allow me to have access to private money to do these deals. I'm blessed. And I'm having an incredible year, even pandemic virus situation that we have going on. By the way, everybody get out and vote. Make sure you vote. Make sure you vote. There's a lot at stake here, so make sure you vote. But off of that, let's start talking about making some money. I'm going to be doing a Zoom live in about an hour and a few minutes. Actually, it's from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Wednesday. I do a Zoom live where we go over the basics and the fundamentals of wholesaling real estate. And the wholesaling real estate is what helped me to get back into the business. Let's start here. Let me start with my story. I'm a real estate entrepreneur in the metropolitan area of Atlanta, Georgia since 1997. We started out buying properties to hold them, to rent them out in East Point. And honestly, I was becoming disenchanted with being a landlord. And so, but I wasn't going to stop. I knew that there had to be something more to get me where I wanted to be economically and to help fill my soul. I was working at a job. By the way, I was working for the U.S. Postal Service, and I hated it. I hated it. I'd been there about 17 years at the time, but the time that I quit, wholesaling would help me get in position to quit that job. But I was grateful for the job because it helped me to, keep a roof over our head. We had two sons, they're grown, and my wife and myself. And so, I was grateful for the job, but I hated the job. I mean, it's just mind numbing going, I don't understand. I could not understand doing that for another 10, 15 years, whatever was left to do, be retired. By the way, I left that job. I started real estate in 1997. I was able to leave my job by early 1999, but I picked up my first wholesale deal totally by accident. Totally by accident. I had a property under contract that we were going to buy and hold to rent out to add to the portfolio that we were gathering at the time. Probably had about 5 at the time. And from there, I got the property under contract for $20,000. It was a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, and just out of the nature of the way I do things, getting to know the neighbors around the house, I let one of the neighbors know that I'm buying the house, closing on it soon, and I gave him one of my business cards. And I asked him, if you see anybody prowling around this house, give me a call, and so on. And with that being said, there was a investor who was doing a renovation on 2 duplexes right next door, and the house that he was doing renovation on was 2 duplexes. And of course, I had been, we coming and going. I'm doing what I'm doing with my property. He's doing with the property that I was going to buy. By chance, he and the neighbor across the street got the conversation, and he asked about that house. That neighbor gave that buyer one of my business cards. That guy called me, and we're still acquaintances, but friends to this day. Although he's moved off into commercial real estate and killing it. Doesn't live very far from me now. But Joe was his name. Joe was interested in the property. When he called me, he says, I never forget it, this raspy voice that he had. Hey, man, somebody told me that you own this house over here. You buying this house over here? And I said, yeah, I'm buying it. He said, you want to sell it? I said, well, I don't own it yet. I never knew at this time. I had been in real estate. I started in 1997. This was like mid-1998. So going on a year of being in the business, I didn't even know wholesaling exists. And so he said, well, how much you getting it for? So I was green. And I said, I'm getting it for 20 grand. Didn't mind telling him. He said, you want to make $5,000? And of course, I'm like, yeah, I want to make $5,000. He said, well, meet me at the house. So I met him at the house. I had no expectations, really had no expectations. But I met him at the house. I let him in because I had the key to the house. I let him in. He walked around, said, I like it. And we did two agreements. The first one was a purchase and sales agreement, which I was used to because we had, a handful of houses. And the second he brought out was a assignment agreement. I had never seen one. We filled out the assignment agreement, one page, very simple. Put it together. His last words to me that day were, by the way, he gave me a check, $500 for earnest money. And the next thing he said, the last thing he said to me that day was, make sure the seller comes to closing. So of course the seller came to closing, and I remember even taking off work that day just to go get my $5,000 check from closing, and it felt real good leaving. Just thinking, man, I'm getting out of this postal service stuff. So I closed that deal, made $5,000, and I was hooked on wholesaling. Now, this is going to lead into what we were talking about, building the buyers list, because immediately when I understood that, first of all, I wouldn't find that guy a whole lot more properties. I started finding him as many properties in East Point as I could. So I started closing deals with him even more so that 25 here, 5,000 there, 7,500 there, 10,000 there. I just started, finding him more deals. And then I started thinking, if there's one person out there like this, there's got to be more. And when I realized that when I realized that I could probably find more buyers, I started running dummy ads. One of my favorite ways to build my buyers list. I started running dummy ads in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution here in Metro Atlanta. Some of us call it the AJC. By the way, I was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, so I moved here in 1991. But I had lived a few other places between Detroit and moving here because I was in the military, in the Army. So I started building my buyers list. Now, what I did, I ran a dummy ad. The dummy ad basically read, and what I did, I chose a hot zip code. I mean, wholesaling just started clicking with me. I mean, when I started seeing the kind of money that I was able to earn, just doing this, I started selling off the rental properties that I had because I got them at good deals. I started selling those off. I was tired of being a landlord. And so what we did was, I would pick a hot zip code in Metro Atlanta. For example, here in Metro Atlanta right now, 30318 is one of the hot zip codes, just one of them. And so I would run a dummy ad in the AJC saying, single family home for sale by owner. Single family investor special, single family home, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath. 3 bedroom, 1 bath. I would never say 2 because I want them to understand it's an investor deal and they may have to do some renovations. And I would give them a really good price. Now here in Metro Atlanta, currently, anything below $100,000, depending on the neighborhood, but let's just say 30318, anything below $80,000, below $90,000 in the 30318 zip code that's a 3-1 will be a hell of a deal. So currently, if I was going to do that in the AJC, I would run an ad saying 3 bedroom, 1 bath, and I would give an incredible. I want to get them interested in calling me up and getting and being added to my buyers list. So I would I would run an ad saying 3 bedroom, 1 bath, 1,500 square feet. And that's going to get an investor excited. 1,500 square feet. Now, I wouldn't give them the whole address. I would say Atlanta, zip code 30318. And I might tell them it was brick or frame. I might say that, just to get them even more excited. I might say brick, 3 bedroom, 1 bath, 1,500 square foot brick ranch in the zip code of 30318 of Atlanta, Georgia. And watch and take the calls that come in. Now, when people call about that property, then that's when you tell them that a property are going to be around the same price range. Would you like to be added to my buyers list? 99.9 times they're going to want to be added to your buyers list. This is another great way to build your buyers list. Now, I use several ways to build my buyers list. And currently with the internet and social media platforms, with the tools that you all have, you beginners have right now, and some of those listening may not be beginners, but for the tools that are out there right now to build your buyers list, actually the tools out there right now to do this business makes it nothing but easy for you. We rolled around. Very few people had a GPS. Now you got a GPS, you got a cell phone, and a laptop, desktop. This business, if it got any easier, you just wake up in the morning and people be dumping money in your lap. But you still have to do some work. And, there's nothing wrong. This is a business. You got to do things to make this business, to earn your stay in this business. And I love it. I love it. Like I said, right before I got on air here today, I just came in from looking at a few properties I'm going to get an offer in on. I just forwarded about 80 pictures of a house over in a particular area on the outskirts of DeKalb County that I'm expecting to pick up to renovate and get. They're asking $150 for the house. We're gonna offer they're asking $155. I'm gonna offer $165, and the ARV of the house is like $275, $285, and I think it needs about $30,000 work. And that one's gonna be I'm gonna fix and flip that one. So I think we could be netting somewhere between 75 to 100 grand. And those, being a part of this type of business and wholesaling, I learned how to find when you become a wholesaler, you're going to be able to find deals like this for yourself. So the ones that you want, you keep and renovate, or you keep and fix and, you fix and flip them to renovate them, to sell them, or you renovate them to buy and hold them. But you're going to learn how to get better at the business as a wholesaler. You're going to start hanging out with more fix and flippers and understanding what they look for. You're going to be hanging out with more buy and holders and understand what they look for when it comes to this business. And when you understand what they look for, the numbers that they expect, the income, the return on investment, it becomes almost a game instead of work. And what I do never feels like work to me, because I love what I do. It never feels like work. So anyway, just wanted to introduce myself to you. I'm doing this is my first this is my first YouTube live video. And of course, it will not be the last. This is and if any of you are available later on in about an hour, I'll be back on the air on doing Zoom Live. The Zoom Live ID is 8633340246. That's 8633340246. I'll be on a Zoom Live class in about an hour, teaching. We're going to go more into the basics and the fundamentals of wholesaling real estate. But this evening's class is on building your buyers list. For those who missed out for the last handful of weeks, we were all into finding motivated sellers, which is my specialty, and that's one reason I call my company Mastermind Investments, not MIND, but MINE, because I'm good at finding great deals, and that's another reason why I'm able to be a consistent wholesaler, finding great deals, building your buyers list, understanding the numbers, and you'll get them sold. I'm Keith Jones, the creator of the Six-Figure Real Estate Wholesaling Coaching Program, looking to help all of those who want to learn and change their lives. You want to take control of your economic future. You want to learn something that you can pass on down to your kids, your grandkids. You want to build financial freedom and economic independence. Start hanging out with us. I'm Keith Jones. I look forward to it. I'll see y'all. For those who join us in an hour, I'll see you there. In the meantime, I'm going to grab me a little bit of something to eat before I get busy on on Zoom. Thanks.